Hello, this is Ayantika, your legal faculty here at CLATapult, and today we are breaking down what the Supreme Court of India has done in one of our biggest legal controversies in West Bengal right now. That is the Special Intensive Revision for Electoral Rolls. The Special Intensive Revision is a process by which the Election Commission of India reviews and updates electoral rolls. In 2025-26, the Commission started its SIR exercise in West Bengal ahead of the assembly elections, aiming to remove ineligible names and fix errors in the voting list. This can include cases where the names don't match with the documents or have logical discrepancies. However, the process became highly controversial that led to tens of millions of people affected and millions of objections and claims were generated that needed careful review. Several petitions were filed in the Supreme Court challenging how the SIR was being conducted. There were complaints that the process created confusion, delay and possible exclusion of genuine voters. There were also allegations of tension between the West Bengal government and the Election Commission, leading to what the court called a trust deficit between the key authorities. At the same time, there were reports of unrest and violence in parts of the state linked to the SIR process. The Supreme Court warned the West Bengal Directorate General of Police that failure to maintain law and order during the SIR could lead to serious consequences. Because the number of disputes were enormous, nearly 80 lakh claims and objections, the Supreme Court took various steps to ensure fairness and speed. First is judicial oversight and verification. The court ordered that instead of administrative officers handling objections and discrepancies, judicial officials, that is people who have been trained to make legal decisions, should take over the task. This was to ensure independent, transparent decision making. Second is deployment of additional judges. The volume of the cases was so large that even the existing district court judges could take many weeks to finish. So the court allowed the Calcutta High Court to use more judges, including civil judges with at least 3 years of experience. If needed, judges from neighbouring states like Jharkhand and Orissa could also be brought in. The Election Commission has been ordered to pay their travel and stay during this time. Third is canvassing through final rolls while work continues. The court also said that final electoral rolls could still be published on the scheduled date, that is 28th February 2026, even if still verifications were pending. Any names added later through further checks or supplementary list will be still treated as the final roll. Fourth is leave cancelled for judges. To make sure that there are enough judges working non-stop, the High Court cancelled leaves for all officers involved in the SIR verification till early March. This case is important because this is a rare and powerful judicial intervention in the electoral revision process. The Supreme Court took these steps because it saw a public interest issue of huge scale involving millions of voters' fundamental right to vote. It used its constitutional power to ensure independent review of disputes, transparency in decision making, timely completion of electoral roll revision. All this matters because if eligible voters are wrongly excluded from the rolls, they lose the right to vote, the most basic element of democratic participation. What comes next is that the verification work by judicial officers now underworks. The final voter list is to be published by 28th February 2026 with supplementary lists added further as needed. The Supreme Court's intervention in the West Bengal's SIR is a landmark moment where the judiciary stepped in to safeguard electoral integrity, ensure justice, and protect democratic rights on a massive scale. Thank you and see you in the next video.